Hey, brothers, and welcome back to another episode of KKSci TV. My name is Bonko, your National Vice President for Student Affairs, and we are excited to be back with another great resource for you and your chapter. So what's the purpose of these videos, you might ask? Well, they're a part of our strategy to engage you, our student leaders, and to provide you with resources that will help you along your journey of running your chapter effectively, efficiently, and correctly. So there's going to be a variety of topics covered along with different guests to help us out. Now, the thing is, if you have any suggestions, specific questions, topics that you want us to cover, please reach out and let me know so that we can make sure that we find the right people to help answer those questions. So you can reach out to me at bonko, kkpsi.org. That's BANGCO at kkpsi.org. Now, today's topic covers something really, really important: money. So more specifically, I'm talking about the initiate registration fee. So that's going to be our topic today. And to help us out, we are bringing in a special guest to give us an overview of what this fee is, how much it costs, and how you and your chapter can go about making payments. And our guest is all the way from the NCD and currently serves as their Vice President for Membership. Jack, could you go ahead and give our viewers an introduction?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, Bong. My name is Jack Gornick. I'm the Vice President for Membership for the NCD, as Bong mentioned. And so this past year, serving as VPM, I've helped a lot of chapters out, talking them through the process of paying these, specifically the membership initiation forms and the fees that go along with it. So when we're talking about these initiate registration fees, so all active members of the fraternity have to pay membership dues each year, but they're different for any newly initiated members. So right after you pass through third degree, you have to pay what's called an initiate registration fee. And that fee is $125. It covers things like your membership recognition pin, your shingle, and all other membership education programs.
Okay, great. Well, Jack, thank you again for joining us and for giving us that introduction to yourself and the initiate registration fee. I am curious, though, I know that there's something about it in the National Constitution. Can you give us an overview and share where we can find that?
Mhm. So if you're looking at the National Constitution, you can find this at Article 6.505,
Mm-hmm.
which states, prior to initiation, any membership candidate must receive a favorable vote of 75% of the eligible voting membership of the chapter and
Mm-hmm.
pay an initiation fee, which is determined by the National Council, which is refundable if a person does not go through third degree.
Mm-hmm.
And you will pay these fees to the chapter treasurer, who will forward it to national headquarters. The candidate should not be considered initiated until they have been recorded in the master chapter roster at national headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Any chapter that submits information for initiates later than 30 days after the initiation date, so 30 days after third degree,
Mm-hmm.
will be assessed a late reporting fee of an additional 25% of the total fee.
Wow, that sucks. So let's that was a lot. So let's go ahead and break that down. So what does this all mean?
Pretty much it means that after a membership candidate goes through third degree,
Mm-hmm.
they have to pay a $125 fee for the initiation fee,
Mm-hmm.
and the chapter needs to fill out an initiation registration report. These fees and reports must be submitted together to National HQ no later than 30 days after third degree.
Okay.
But if you're unable to hold third degree because of the current situation, you have to follow the instructions by the National Council or National Curriculum Committee that were set forth.
Okay, so so I know that there was something that came out about it. Obviously, we are in very uncertain times. We are we're making changes as we need, and there are accommodations. So with COVID-19, I know that there was a statement, there were guidelines that were sent out. Could you, when it comes to the National Curriculum Committee, what did they suggest chapters do?
So first off, if you're still going through the road to wisdom, if you're still going through lessons, we encourage you to do those virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You can use Zoom or Google Hangouts or whatever technological program you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you complete the final lesson,
Mm-hmm.
make sure to go through the formal chapter vote to initiate each member like you're supposed to do as part of the National Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Fill out the initiate registration, get signatures, collect the payments,
Mm-hmm.
which those signatures can be digital, which
Mm-hmm.
would help out, considering none of us are really at campus anymore.
Yeah.
And then regarding degrees, third degree can be held when you're allowed to come back to campus, which could be just in the fall.
Okay. So just to kind of reiterate, it sounds like you're saying that if chapters have not finished their lessons and they're still MCs, I read somewhere on there that this class should not follow into the fall semester. The goal is to get everyone initiated, and they don't have to do third degree right now. They just have to do the final lesson, just have to make sure they get the chapter vote, and then they can do the degree in the fall semester.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. No, that's great clarification on that. So if you could, when it comes to the guideline itself, do you mind walking us through where we can find that and where we can read more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll screen share for you right now.
Ooh.
There you go. You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, we're going to go to kksci.org, go to the national website, and you're going to scroll down just on this homepage to headlines, where the latest thing as of right now, March 17th, is an update from the National Curriculum Committee. Click on that. Okay. So you can take a moment to read this while it's on the screen.
Okay, so again, like you said, there is this is great content, and I'm glad that we're showing it. As chapters have been submitting a lot of questions and reaching out for a lot of questions, one of the main questions we're having is when it comes to third degree. So I'm glad that you clarified that they don't have to do third degree for this semester for the MCs to be initiated. What other things can you tell us about this?
Okay, so yeah, which like you just said, right? The second paragraph, you're talking about how you can complete lessons virtually and ritual in person in the fall. On top of this too, you have some other guidelines and resources. So for instance, if you're trying to do lessons virtually, you can look at sample lessons taught by VPMs across the country on Kappa Side TV, YouTube. And always you can email the curriculum committee if you have any questions about any of this.
Yeah.
Anything at all regarding the Road to Wisdom, recruitment, or ritual, just outside of just this current situation.
Sure. Yeah, no, and that's that email is curriculum@kksci.org. And again, we are simply stating things that we were told, what we have been reading. So if there's something that you need clarified, please do reach out to them, because neither Jack and I are experts on this, and you should probably get information that is correct. So let's talk about the fees itself. You said it was $125 and it needs to be paid, and you had said that it needs to be paid together, but how can chapters pay this?
So there are a couple of different ways that chapters typically go about this. Usually the chapter can have their university cut a check and send that check to HQ, or they can send a check from their whatever their bank account is for their chapter, or pay online with a chapter bank card. But with a lot of universities closed, there's some chapters that won't be able to get a check cut. Okay. But if that applies to you, you can still pay by sending a check or paying online, sending more of a personal check. Bong, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what Jack is saying is because of the circumstance. We understand it's you may not have access to your accounts through your university. So, after speaking to headquarters staff, it was suggested that the membership candidates submit their $125 to one individual. That may be the treasurer, the VPM, the president, and that individual who's collecting all the fees write a personal check and send it to headquarters. Now, the headquarters is currently closed. We got notice of that today. So I did want to add one thing in, is that you can, on the website, when you go search for headquarters, search for their PO box address, and you want to make sure that you send your report and the check together to headquarters. Now, Jack, you mentioned something about a card. So usually people can pay over the phone by calling in. But obviously with headquarters being closed, is there a way to pay online?
Yeah, so again, while still screen shared, we can go onto the national website and go under membership,
Mm-hmm.
scroll down to here, membership fees and status, and then go down to the form payment gateway. Not
Okay.
gateway, my bad. And so on here, this is a way to pay online.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of verbiage there. So I think it's important that we all take the time to read this. So you just making sure that you read all of that. And I'm assuming, so when you click on that form payment gateway where that $ is, does it automatically just tell us what we're supposed to pay, or do we have to put in a certain amount?
No, you have to put in your correct amount.
Okay.
And one thing to note still is that it is really important that all of these payments happen at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So this amount that you're putting in here is going to be the total amount for all of your initiates.
Got it.
National headquarters does not process individual payments. So
Okay.
it's important to keep that in mind.
Okay. Okay, so with that being said, can you show us the rest of the form and what that looks like?
Yeah, so more information down here talking about just filling out your chapter, your college,
Mm-hmm.
the type of form, and then here you have to attach a PDF of your signed summary page.
Okay.
So for paying initiated registration fees, you have to have an attached PDF of your filled out initiated registration report
Mm-hmm.
to actually submit this payment.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, so just to reiterate a couple of things that I think that was really important is that you had mentioned you have to, the system itself doesn't automatically recognize like, oh, you are from so-and-so, you're going to pay this amount. You should know that amount up front. So 125 times how many of any members that you're going to initiate in, making sure that you have your signed summary report with all the MC signatures, right? And let's say if you need help filling that out, there are other videos on KKSI TV on your YouTube channel to help you fill that out. And making sure that you attach that form in and making that payment all as one. And Jack, is there anything else you think is necessary for people to know here?
Pretty much just that if you still have questions, you can always email or call national headquarters for further information.
Yeah, and their website, for those of you who are curious, is kkytbs.org. That's where you can find their address, their number. And again, they are closed right now. We don't know, when things will change. We are filming this on March 25th. So just make note of that if you are reaching out. Let's see here. Okay, so I think that's all to add to that, right, Jack?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We've received a lot of questions about what to do in the situation. And again, just so you know, these are uncertain times. There's no playbook for this. There has been no plan like, what should we do if there's a pandemic, right? That's not something that we've thought about, but we have discussed with headquarters staff, and their suggestion is what we have discussed in this video. But let's say if you have more questions, please reach out. You can always reach out to the different committees, but if you don't, you can always reach out to myself or Jack. And Jack, what is that email of yours?
You can reach me at ncdvpm@kksci.org.
Yeah, and or myself at bonko@kksci.org as well. So Jack, thank you so much for your help today. Again, if people have questions, they'll be reaching out to you. And I just wanted to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your service and your dedication to KKSI, and wish you a great and healthy and non-corona rest of your year.
All right, absolutely. Thanks, Bon.
All right, thanks so much.